Hi there everybody, it's Chris van der Kerk here at Blue Rhino Safaris. We recently started our chat about the power systems for camping, and I'm very happy to announce that I have a proposition for you. If you go to my website and you look under videos and equipment, there's a few videos mentioned there, and then there's Blue Nova lithium batteries. If you click on that, you'll go to a page on my website that explains a little bit more as to what the story is with lithium batteries versus normal lead acid batteries. So let's first look at the lithium batteries as such. Lithium iron phosphate is a technology that is it's not very new, but it's becoming more and more common as its availability goes, and the prices are coming down all the time, and that has made these batteries more available to us as campers. And if you look at someone like the Tesla guys, they use lithium cobalt, where this is a different lithium technology, but it's still based on lithium. So the quality of the battery in a Tesla vehicle would be about 5 times as good as lead acid, as far as the weight goes and the amount of energy density. But if you look at a normal lithium iron phosphate that we have here, it's about 3 times as good as a lead acid battery. So to be safe, you can double up and you'll say, all right, 2 105 lead acids is equal to 1 105 lithium. It's better than that, but that's an easy equation if you want to do that. Now, what has happened in the recent past, which is in the last year or so, is that the batteries prices have come down to such an extent that per kilowatt hour the price for lithium is about the same as the price for lead. So if I take my battery storage and I work out the amount of cycles, how much kilowatt this battery will save and will store and produce in its life, then I come to a rand value per kilowatt, and let's say that is 2 rand a kilowatt. If I do the same calculation for lead, which has a half of the life, so a lot less cycles, but it's a lot less cheaper, then I come to the same rand per kilowatt. So if I install both of these batteries into a situation, then my rand per storage and supply is the same. So financially, there's no real advantage in buying either. And this is where we are. And this is what makes this a great moment in time. As we go forward, lithium is going to become more and more cheap, and it will be the obvious choice, and everybody will switch to lithium because it will be cheaper per kilowatt than lead acid is. But where we are at the moment, it is the same, basically, depending on where you buy it. So if you get a great deal on it, then it's cheaper for lithium. If you don't get a great deal on it, then it's more expensive than acid. So let's assume at this point we are at that point where the two are the same. Up to now, lithium was more expensive. But at this point in time, lithium is at the same level as lead acid. So why am I doing this video if there's no benefit? There's a massive benefit, absolutely huge. For one, lithium batteries are extremely light. If you go into the website, you will see I've got the benefits listed on the side. They're very light. So your vehicle, where you might have 3 lead acid batteries, or let's say 4, those 4 lead acids can be replaced by 2 lithiums, and a lithium battery weighs a quarter of the weight. So it's the same as dividing the weight by 8 from lead acid. So you can save a lot on battery weight. So that's the one thing, is your weight is key. The second thing is you can draw a lithium battery down to 0 without damaging it. The lithium battery has a built-in battery management system that will kick it out as you get to the lowest it can go. So you can basically draw down a lithium battery to almost 0, which means in our environment where we run a fridge and we haven't had good charges for a few days, the battery keep on dropping, a lead acid battery we are damaging on day 2 already. just because we just haven't had the time to push the voltage up on it. A lithium battery can go down a lot lower, and eventually it cuts out, and after it's cut out you can recharge it and the battery is pretty much good. If you run a battery down and it's on the website 100% depth of discharge, you're going to get 2000 cycles. That 2000 cycles is equivalent to running a lead acid just a little bit, just using a lead acid in the mildest of forms. So you can almost destroy a lithium battery as far as the discharge goes without really doing any damage. If you run a lithium battery down to 50%, you're going to get 5000 life cycles, which equates to more than 10 years. So in that sense, a lithium battery is much better when it comes to the fact that it is not going to destroy itself when you abuse it. So when you do the calculation to say, all right, the lead acid for 1500 cycles is going to cost me 4,000 Rand, it's not 1,500 cycles because of the abuse that we as campers do on batteries. Lithium is more protected against the abuse because of the makeup of the battery. So technically your lithium battery is going to last a lot longer because it can handle the abuse much better. A lead acid doesn't like the abuse. It will just die after two years, where your lithium battery, even if you abuse it, it's going to give you 6, 7, 8, up to 10 years depending on the cycles. It's got a 10-year warranty. So it tells you that if you install this battery, it's going to last you a very long time. It's lightweight. There's no gases or acid, so when you're charging this battery, there's no toxic gases that comes off the batteries. It's a very clean battery. It's 100% safe, and it's environmentally friendly. So there's no acid and lead and all the stuff that we have to deal with. So as a environmental product, it's not bad at all. If you do the calculations, it's on the website as well. You can get away with a battery that is about 40% lithium will give you 100% lead acid. So a 105 lead acid battery is equivalent to about a 40 amp hour lithium battery. So what do I have to do to convert to a lithium battery? On the discharge side, there's not much that you have to worry about. On the discharge side, it's fairly straightforward. It's a 13 volt battery versus a 12.7 volt battery, so it's not a big issue. On the charge side is where you're going to have to pay a little bit of attention. A lithium battery demands power when it's recharging. So if you connect your lithium battery, a dead lithium battery, to your alternator, just straight onto the alternator, it will probably burn out your alternator because it's going to demand so much power that the alternator gets extremely hot. And therefore you cannot just connect a dead lithium to an alternator. That alternator is just going to work too much because the lithium battery is not like a lead acid that resists charging. A lithium sucks up all the power that you give it. So the best way to do it is to use a DC-DC charger. If it is a DC-DC charger that is lithium ready, it means that the lithium charge that goes through is of the right voltage and the battery will be happy with what it receives. So the best way to go is with a DC-DC charger that is lithium ready. If it's not lithium ready and it's like in the old D250 CTEX, that's fine. It will still work because it's still charging at 14.4 or 14.6 volts, which is the charge requirement for the lithium batteries. The other thing is it limits the charge that goes through. You don't have that massive amount of current that's running through the cables, so it controls the charge a little bit better. So yeah, when you want to switch over to lithium, charging below 0 degrees Celsius is also a no-no. You don't charge these batteries below 0. So the ideal for you, if you have a lithium charger, it might have a temperature sensor which says this battery is too low. On my vehicle I have a few systems, and one of those systems is measuring the battery temperature, and that temperature, when it's below 0, the battery will not charge. So it's something that you can think of. What do you do if that happens? Well, you just put a current on the battery. So you switch on a light or the fridge or something and let it run for a little bit. That creates a bit of heat inside the battery. Temperature will rise, and as soon as it rises, you can start charging the battery. So you have to think about it a little bit more carefully when it comes to charging, and it's only below zero. That's the only place where there's a real problem. Now, if this is inside of your vehicle, chances that you're going to go below zero, you have to be in Lesotho on a cold night to get that. And then you just disconnect the battery and leave it. If you run something on it like a fridge, then the battery will generate its own heat and there won't be any problems. You just can't charge it. So you can run the battery through the night, but the next day wait for a little bit, switch on the heater, drive for an hour or so, and then connect your battery to charge. Otherwise, if you're in Botswana or anywhere else, no problem. Also, you don't want to put this battery in your engine compartment. It's going to get too hot for it. This is like a cell phone battery. It likes to sit somewhere nice and comfortable, not getting too hot from the environment outside and not getting too cold from the environment outside. And as long as you maintain those properties, then these things will be perfect. So I've switched over to the lithium batteries. For a year now, I've been over to lithium because I was just tired of all the acid problems that we had. Lead acid, I have to have 3 batteries. Eventually I have 4, and then one of the batteries dies, and then you have to replace them all, and it just became a headache to me. So I just replaced my batteries with my 4 batteries. I replaced with 2 lithiums, and up to now I've never even used more than 25% of it because they are really, really efficient. So if you want to switch over, then get hold of me. I've got a good price on them, and at the moment the price will always be on my website, but at the moment the price for the 105, which is a 108, is 9750 including VAT. I'm coming down to the Cape on the 6th of March, so I can bring a battery for you if you're looking for me to bring it down for you. So transport, otherwise I will just ship it via a shipping company. The other battery is typically, I think, in the Prados where they have a smaller second battery. You can have an 80 amp hour battery that will probably fit into that space. The sizes are on here, so you can just measure your battery and make sure it's the same one. They go at 9,100 Rand, including VAT, excluding transport. So remember, a 105 equivalent is a 108 in this case, and it's the same as 2 to 3 105s. So it'll give you a lot more punch for your bucks. It's not going to pack up on you in the bush. This thing is going to last you for 10 years, even if it gets abused. You want to look after it as much as possible. It's going to extend its life, but even if it gets abused in the bush, it's going to keep performing. And that's the key to a lithium battery. So if you're interested in lithium batteries, let me know. Let's organize it. On my web page, there is a link to the Blue Nova website. It's this button here on the left hand side. If you click on that, you'll go to the Blue Nova website, and there's something to read if you want to. Otherwise, get hold of me, send me an email. I will send you a quotation for the battery, and I will ship them down to you to install. Let me know what the problems is that you're concerned about, where can you install it, what equipment do you need, and I will help you with each individual installation as we go through. Otherwise, I think the time for lithium has come. The prices, as I say, are in line now. If you wait another year or two, then lithium is going to be cheaper than lead acid per kilowatt. Not in capital, per kilowatt. And that means over a 10-year period, your lithiums are going to be much cheaper than lead acid. Already we are there. Just based on the fact that we can abuse a lithium battery without having too much trouble. Otherwise, let me know if you have any questions, and we can organize something for you. Thanks for listening. Cheers.